Hey, Ronnie Dale here, Four-Wheeling Australia. Welcome to Project Black. I will now reveal to you a project that a lot of people have been hanging to see. Only the people of the Adelaide and the Perth Four-Wheel Drive Show and my patrons on Patreon have had a quick glimpse of the unfinished project. This is nearly finished, pretty much in its complete form.
What is Project Black? Time to reveal. This project, aka Project Black, is not just about what's in here, it's about the whole vehicle itself and the functionality of everything. It's all about lightweight and usability, and this whole thing comes out, which we're going to get to. The reason why I rushed to do this was because I now have an opportunity to tow a trailer, so everything changed. I didn't want to carry all this weight I had on here before, so this is all set up to tow a trailer for a big trip or short trips, throw the swag in the back. I'm completely geared up, and this is specifically made for content creation with charging all my gear, but we'll get to all that.
Let's roll back 7 weeks before the build was finished and before the testing was finished.
2 more steps to go and we are well and truly committed.
There were definitely quite a few nervous moments, ripping everything out and putting something else in that I was the first to test, and we had a very short window to build this in. Anxiety levels were high.
So as I was saying, it's not all about what's inside the box, and we will open it soon, stay tuned. But it's also about the other stuff that we corrected on it. So we had 2 fuel tanks that were originally underneath. Now, one of them still remains. The other one, we pull them both out actually. As you can see, this vehicle has never been off-road before. They were both leaking like a sieve. They've been leaking since day one. So one of them was worse than the other, so we just threw it in the bin. Other one, we ended up repairing, and I had to fix the top seal. The rubber seal at the top wasn't good enough either. It was just diesel, honestly, seeping out everywhere. The other tank was made at quick pitch. So we made an 80 litre 316 stainless steel tank.
But you can build it in 2 halves. You've got reinforcing on the inside and you've only got 1 welding seam. And that is in the center. Yes, you have to weld the corners, but at least this is a paint, that's a paint, it's always smooth and clean.
Having thrown out one of the diesel tanks and keeping the other one after we fixed it, so many holes in it, we then constructed the water tank. This water tank was also reducing my fuel capacity. It used to be 352 litres of fuel, now it's decreased to 276 litres. However, my water capacity has gone from 0 to 80 litres.
An inlet and outlet on the bottom at the lowest point, and we had a breather at the highest point. And that tank is now underneath the vehicle, and with the X2 trailer behind me, that has 80 litres of water as well. I can have a shower off this vehicle, I can have a shower out of the X2. So there's 160 litres of water. So for a family trip or the trips that we do with the whole crew, there's plenty of water for everyone. We can have showers and stuff like that while we're out creating all this content and exploring the country. Good morning. How good are showers, eh? The water is not just for showers either, it's also for drinking, cooking, it's for everything. Both tanks I'm keeping free of contamination by using a caravan filter, and it's all plumbed into the side of the vehicle right there. This one here is diesel, we'll leave that one shut. This one here is a water one. Now the cool thing I've done with this, now this wasn't just my idea, it was also Yucky's idea from Quick Pitch, was that now comes out like this. That goes directly down to the tank. Very similar shower system to what I had before. In fact, it's the same pumps and everything. I've now mounted the hoses down here. So this hose is for the tap water, and this one here is for the shower water. So what we have here is a hose. This hose will suck from a bucket or a river, so I can have endless water. So this I'll drop in a bucket. Good morning. We're having a bore water shower this morning. Freshen up. It's really humid. It's stinking hot actually. I can heat the bucket up if I want a hot shower, and that means I'm not touching the water in the tank, and I'm not cross-contaminating the water in my tank as well. So that is a big bonus when it comes to this whole water system that I got going on in this vehicle. Also, I could actually fill up my own tank this way as well by sucking water up and then putting it through a filter straight back into the tank.
Now to what you've all been waiting for, the core of Project Black.
This is by far the coolest side of the whole tray. I'll also explain to you why I put it behind the drop sides and why I don't lube these up so it doesn't make all this noise. That is because if I'm laying in my bed or in my swag, I hear this drop down, I know someone's going through my car. Here we go. This is the fun side. The other side is the business side. And yeah, I know it's not really necessary to have a double-headed axe. But look, this is just the toy side. Looks pretty cool. Got the silky katana boy up here. I used to have a short katana silky saw as well, but it broke, so I got this Bancho one from Bunnings instead. Just as good. Old torch up here, that's a Coleman torch. Halter Force double-headed axe, Halter Force regular axe. Do I need all these axes? Well, I don't carry chainsaws. This one's okay for chopping blocks. This one here is great for removing trees and stuff on a track. Welcome to the business side. So there's a few changes here. I used to have this big box here that was 200 to 250 kilos. Great box for a normal camper. If you want a bar with a long table to come out, it was actually pretty cool, but it wasn't good enough for what I do, content creation. And this is where things get, well, this is where I get excited to show you. So check this out. We have a wooden table here weighing next to nothing. Another wooden table not weighing much. And here we have a drawer. In this drawer, camera gear, spare drones, batteries, binoculars, cables, all kinds of stuff. That's all in here. But as you can see, I can leave the table out as I'm using it. Then up here, everything is millimeter perfect in here. This box just fits in, and it's all custom made for this. Laptop, that's my laptop, that's Amalia's laptop, the filming assistant, and doing a bit of editing nowadays too. Just more cables, lights, just various GoPro stuff. So that lives in here. So the laptop will come out, go down on the table. We will dump our footage to the hard drives here. This is where the audio box lives. As you can see, it's just, everything is just so much more handy to get to. This is where we charge all our gear. So big Sony batteries, Canon DSLR batteries, drone batteries, the handheld mic. This thing here is a bit loose, I've got to re-stick that. Then up here we have the PDM by Perf Diesel Performance, and that controls all my lights. It's the same PDM switch I have in the vehicle, but this one here controls all the lights, the fridge, work lights, roof lights, side lights, everything there. And then the BMS, so I've got the BMS 30 in this one as well, and that is managing the lithium battery, which we'll get to on the other side, more on that later. And then, this is the latest touch we've done to it. A place to keep the bottles safe, because that's one fun thing I've always struggled with. Now I know it takes up a lot of space. We couldn't really work out what to put there, but we have decided to put wine and rum and possibly SodaStream bottles. And then up here we got nice little glasses, little tumblers that sit just in there. Everything's nice and secure. It's gone through a lot of, It's been beaten up a lot on a lot of tracks and it's held up really well. Now it's just not me that uses this space. Half the time Amala uses this space and this is what she thinks about it.
So now I'm just dumping or transferring footage over to the hard drive, so at least we know it's all backed up, and doing a bit of the planning here. By the way, this workspace is awesome. Like, Project Black has just changed the whole way that we charge things, do things. Like, these slots come out and it just makes it so much more easier. Everything's tucked in, it's charged. We love it. Like, it works so well. But yeah, hopefully this will give us more efficiencies, and hopefully we get into camp at daylight, maybe.
The final piece of the puzzle is the soda stream. Now I got the measurement wrong, so I had to put an angle grinder to it. But this specific space here is just made for a soda stream. Now, why do I have a soda stream? It's more of a health option, really. So this one here does not require power, it's just straight on pressure. So you don't need batteries, you don't need a 240 socket or anything, it just runs on the pressure. They're the cheaper ones as well, they're the good ones to get. The reason for this is so when I get to camp, instead of having 5 or 6 beers around the fire, I'll just have 2 beers and soda stream. And I camp a lot, and some people like a few beverages when they camp, and so if you're picking up what I'm putting down, just looking after my health. The design of all this, there's no way by any stretch of the imagination I can take full credit for this. I wanted it lightweight, and I went to Yucky at Quick Pitch to talk about lightweight. So it's been a marathon of installing something really cool, and that's why I call it Project Black. I think this is the first time something like this has been built for a vehicle, and here's the brains behind it. Yucky, the man himself, Quick Pitch. Yeah, and Rob. We were all here last night till 1 AM.
Joyful.
So I'll come back in about 3 hours and we'll keep going, eh?
Cool.
All right. So this whole thing is constructed out of 1.6mm aluminium. Now we have worked out a couple of areas we need to just put a few little reinforcements, but it's fine as it is. It's fine as it is. It's held up really well. So because it's 1.6 aluminium throughout the whole lot, the whole box weighs 53 kilos. Now that includes this drawer. It includes the box, the other side, the drawer, everything except for the hardware that I've added into it. So that includes this drawer, it includes the table. 53 kilos. The box here before weighed 200 to 250 kilos and was so much unusable space. This pulls out, I can get to everything. I don't have to lean in. It's all right here. I've got tables here. Conventional setups that people do, boxes on the back with canopies. You're leaning in to get to stuff. You're moving stuff to get to other stuff. You're adding drawers, which add weight, so you get more usable space out of what's in there. Adding drop side fridge slides, which weigh as much as a fridge. You know, it's all about a weights game and a usability game. And I reckon this, I don't reckon there's anything better than this at the moment. Now, that's probably saying a lot, but I've tried a lot of setups. And if you're a frequent follower of this channel, you know that I've changed my car so many times. And the most exciting part about it, well, not the most exciting part about it, that's because that's what it is. The other exciting part about it is I have been part of this project, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked to be part of this project. And the next project that we're going to do, where it's going to be like a kitchen. And you've only seen half of this. There's more to it on the other side. Now back onto Yucky from Quick Pitch. He was the one who brought up, why don't we just make something that pulls out? And I just stood there and looked at him and thought, what are you talking about? And then when he showed me the drawing and I got the concept of what he's talking about, I was like, holy we got to do this. And so the drawing started. So I went home and I sketched up something on paper, took it to Yucky, we went back and forth, and this is what it is now, today. And I am very bloody happy about it. So Yucky, if you're watching this, which you probably will, bloody good job, mate. And I look forward to building the other one we're talking about. So let's go to the other side and we'll check out the electronic brains of all this, because this is powered. Oh, actually, really cool to show you. Behind here, we have probably one of the thickest CNC cable track I've ever seen, which goes with this whole drawer in and out to keep all the wires safe. That was one of the hurdles we had to overcome. It's almost Friday. I'm back at Quick Pitch and we're going to finish Project Black. Nearly done. Couple of hours and we're done. Andrew White will be proud. Is that one for now?
That's closed.
Welcome to the other side of Project Black. Again, another squeaky side. Very squeaky. Right, so before we go on to the inside, you can see I have a tyre mounted here, and that's where the main heaviest structure is. There's a bit of a crossbar here on the side of the box holding the tyre. Now there's two places for a tyre. So where the fridge is through there, I could actually put another tyre there and then move the fridge across. And this is in preparation for removing this whole frame. I'll get to that in a bit. So in here, the other side of Project Black. In the float stuff, some camp cover bags with all my spare parts and other goodies in them. And I left a few things out just so we can see what's in here. Here's the back wall, and that is where the BMS 30 hangs onto, and a 700 watt inverter. Now the BMS, that's a complete battery management system that sends solar in from the top. There's two panels on the roof. There is a solar input on the outside here for a solar blanket. That's all there on an Anderson. So all that goes into this system, and then it then charges a lithium battery which is underneath. The inverter, along with all the other power cables to power all the lights and everything, they all go on that CNC track which you saw before, and all the power distribution module data cables all go to the other side, and they're all nice and safe and snug in that CNC cabling. So if you're ever going to do something like this, use the CNC cabling. It is so cool. To the lightweight construction of this box, there's something you need to know. It's all 1.6mm alloy, as I've already told you, aluminum, aluminium, whatever you want to call it. That wall up here, that is 1.6mm. I have mounted a lot of this expensive electronics to. On corrugations, it could possibly rattle the absolute hell out of these things and then possibly destroy them. But here's how we prevent that from happening. The drawer on the other side has rubber on the back of it, so that butts up to this wall and that stops the vibrations from happening. The same thing with this drawer here. If this drawer wasn't in, the box will actually collapse in on itself. It's hard to see on camera, but it's actually going in a couple of mil on each side and there's movement there. But this drawer, when I'm driving, it's obviously closed. It holds the whole structure together. It's a bit of a risky build, but it's paid off. It has gone through a lot of really rough tracks. Underneath are all the water pumps. As I explained earlier, there's one water pump for drawing from a bucket, there's one water pump for drawing out of the water tank. And then that way I don't cross-contaminate my water, and I can have endless water. If I'm near a water source, just use a bucket, and I'm not using the tank water. And that's mainly for showers. So drinking water always comes out of the tank because it's clean, it's safe, and it tastes great because it's in a 316 stainless steel tank. So what do I carry in this toolbox? Well, I've got a tool roll. This one here, that's a brand new tool roll, by the way. That's the Atlas 46 bottle jack. Just various bits and pieces that I might need roadside. Rescue tape, nuts and bolts, and it's carpeted in the bottom so I can put Velcro things down and they won't slip around. That's what lives in this drawer. It's basically all the tools that I would need if I need to change a tyre or work on the motor or whatnot. In behind here is a lithium battery. So here's another cool fact. With that lithium battery and the box combined, the total weight is 64 kilos. That's obviously not including all my gear. 64 kilos, a dry box with a battery in it. That's unheard of. So the battery I used to have was 29 kilos. This battery is 11 kilos. So you drop a lot of weight using lithium. Now lithium is expensive. I am going to do a battery video explaining all about batteries. Now lithium's not for everyone, but I've killed 4 AGM batteries and lithium for me is the goer. It is a bigger cost to start with, but you actually get more out of that battery. Now we're on to the top of the rack, which I mentioned before. As you know, I've recently added 2 awnings to the top. I kind of like awnings when it rains, especially when I got the new Project Black that pulls out. I can't have water going on all my camera gear and stuff, so the awning on that side is a necessity. However, I really want to remove this whole top frame because this and this is probably 120 kilos. However, I do need an awning. So I'm trying to figure out now, how can I get rid of this whole frame and still have an awning? So that's something I'm trying to work on now. It'll also take 50 kilos or 60 kilos off the very back, which is the worst spot to hang a tire. So why do I have it there? Because it looks cool. It kind of looks unique. Everyone knows that the back of this vehicle is my truck because it has the 2 bags, it has the wheel there, it has this frame. So that and the awnings is the hard thing to part away from. The Cruiser is going to be so much more lighter, and that's what I'm trying to do. And that is part of the reason why I am committing myself to a long-term testing of this X2 trailer, because all of our gear goes into there, it goes to a base camp, and if I don't need to bring the trailer, I am super lightweight. The fuel cost already has gone down just by taking all the weight off. Of course, not when I'm towing. It's about the same as before when I was heavy. That's what people really got to think about where they're going when they're building their car. Think about weight and think about efficiencies. That's where you should really be looking if you're going to build a vehicle, and I've done a lot of changes. This is the most excited I've been about a project, and that box has also taken a lot of camera gear off my back seats. The next part of Project Black will be the interior. That's the next part. So we're going to build a center console and a roof console. It's going to be pretty cool. We've got the drawings. Already spoken to Yucky about it from Quick Pitch. There's some more cool stuff coming. And that kitchen side, I can't wait to show you guys that. Any questions, comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.